Today we're making this fairycore-inspired macrame bracelet. Hi friends! So for this project, I'm using some really fine thread to make this bracelet. It is a 0.55 millimeter. It's really fine and it's waxed. And for today's bracelet, I think I'm going to go with this green color. All the supplies I used, I will link in the description box. To start off our macrame bracelet, we're going to start right in the very center with the flower first. With your two 30-inch strands of cord, thread your gold bead on both of them. Then center your bead by folding your two cords in half and drag your bead to the middle. Then you want to take your flower bead and thread all 4 strands right through the very center of your acrylic flower bead. Once you have it threaded through, make sure that your golden bead is perfectly straight on top. Alright, so now grab one of your long 60-inch strands of wax cord, fold it in half to find the center, then place the center behind the bottom 2 cords of your bracelet. We're going to tie what I like to call a floating square knot. With the left side of your cord, place it over top of the 2 centers, forming a loop on your left. Then with your right cord, place it behind and through the loop. This is only half of your square knot, so to complete the other half, you have to repeat the same thing but on the opposite side. So you make a loop on the right this time, and then with your left, place it behind and through the loop. Alright, I'm going to tie another one here just so that you can see it nice and clearly. And then after that, I'm going to slide these knots all the way up to the top, right below our flower. You're not going to see it because it's going to be hidden underneath. So we're going to tie a total of 7 square knots right underneath our flower here. I'm going to jump ahead and tie my 7 square knots. Once you have all 7 square knots, take the 2 middle strands and thread on another gold bead. Grab your 2 long cords again and tie another square knot just below that gold bead. So we're going to continue tying square knots all the way down this side of our bracelet. You want a total of 30 square knots underneath that gold bead. Count your square knots below your gold bead to make sure you have exactly 30. Great, next we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Perfect. Now this is the base of our bracelet. If you wanted to, you could stop here and have more of a minimalistic look. Or you could stick with me and you can add a vine down the sides. To add a vine, it's actually quite easy. You're going to need a tapestry needle and another 2 long 60-inch strands of cord. Thread one of your cords onto your tapestry needle. And we're going to attach our cord on our square knot right next to our gold bead. So what you want to do is push your needle right through the very side on the left-hand side of your gold bead. Pull your needle through, and you want to leave about a 10-inch tail. Now what I like to do is leave my needle on my thread and just pin my needle onto my board right below. We're going to be needing this needle a couple of times, so it's just easier to keep it on. Now with your other side of your cord, you want to make a loop by placing it over top of your short tail end, and then wrap it behind and through that loop. Then cinch it all the way up to the top. This is a half hitch, and to create our vine, we're going to create a half hitch spiral. So repeat the same thing, make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end behind and through the loop, and cinch it all the way up to the top. So I just tied 2 half hitches. You're gonna need to tie a total of 30 of them. And as you're tying these half hitches, you're gonna notice that it's gonna start spiraling around itself. You're also gonna notice your cord is gonna start pulling over to the left, just like mine is. Don't worry about it, just kind of flip it around and continue tying your half hitches. Once you tied a total of 30 of them, count down on the left-hand side bar of your square knots to about the 8th one, and then slide your tapestry needle right over to the opposite side where the bar is, so that it pokes right through on the back stitch of your square knot. So let me say that again. You want to count down to the 8th bar on the left-hand side of your square knot, and then on the right-hand side of your square knot, you want to slide your tapestry needle down through the back stitch of your square knot. Don't worry, I don't think you can really mess this part up. You just really want to count down to the 8th one and then pass your tapestry needle through it. Alright, so grab the same strand of cord that you were working with before and tie another 30 half hitch spirals. Alright, so since our knots are on the right hand side, you want to count the bars that are on the right. So count down to a total of 8. And then on the left hand side, you want to place your tapestry needle down and through the back side. So it's just the same as the first part of our vine, only we're on the opposite side. Alright, so let's repeat the same process again and tie another 30 half hitch spiral. On the left bars of your square knots, count down to 8, and then on the right side, slide your tapestry needle down towards the back side of your square knot. This is the last section of our vine, so once you pull your tapestry needle through, you can go ahead and remove it. With your 2 ends, you want to tie another 2 half hitches so it doesn't slide off. And you guessed it, we have to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Awesome, once you've completed both of your vines, we're gonna clean up all the ends. So I like to start with our vine ends, so give them a nice trim, leaving just a small tiny tail so that we can melt it down with our lighter. Make sure the ends are nice and fused together. And then we're going to do the same thing with the rest of our loose ends. Just be very careful not to cut them too short. You don't want your knots to accidentally slip out, but you also don't have to be super precious with it because we're going to hide the ends in a minute. Now to finish off the ends, I like to use these ribbon clasps. I think that's what they're called, ribbon fasteners. It actually comes in this kit, so all these little tiny pieces at the end of this tutorial, it all comes included with this little kit. Now I'm not affiliated or sponsored or anything, but I find that this kit is super handy because it even comes with these little extension chains so that you can adjust the size of your bracelet. Alright, so grab one of your little ribbon ends and the end of your bracelet, and then just pinch it shut with your fingers, just so that it's closed nicely and sitting just the way you like it before you go ahead and seal it permanently with your pliers. I find most macrame artists finish their bracelets kind of with like strings hanging down, and I really don't like that look. I feel like it's super messy and it just loosens really easily. You're more likely for it to fall off, and I just don't like it. I prefer to finish mine with an actual clasp. I feel like it's more secure and it looks more professional. Alright, so to attach the clasp, you're going to need to open up a jump ring, slide on your ribbon end, and then add your lobster claw clasp, and then close up that jump ring. And then on the other side, you want to open up a jump ring, slide on your ribbon end, and then slide on your extension chain. Then close up that jump ring. The extension chain is such a game changer because this bracelet can fit me and my daughter. And then if I'm making a whole bunch of these to sell at a craft fair, I don't have to make a whole bunch of different sizes. It's a one size fits all because of the extension chain. I hope you enjoyed this little fairy core inspired macrame bracelet. And if you like this video, please do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one.